Hey guys, how are you? Hope all is going well this week. So, want to share a couple of quick things. I was in the store not too long ago over at a antique store, and I ran into a guy, and there we started talking baseball cards. There was a small baseball card set up there. You could buy stuff from the '80s in packs, and there were even a couple of things you could kind of flip through. Nothing great there, but got to talking to the guy, and he seemed really nice. And in our conversation, he started talking about um, fixing old vintage cards. And that might not be the right term he used, but that is basically what he's talking about. He talked about how to take the creases out of cards using different things like humidity. And, I know a while back this was a big talk. And last week, John Mangini and Jake from Legends Never Die had done YouTube I guess YouTube and a podcast on the ability to tell old cards by the feel and look of the old cards, and how experience was a big part of that. And I would absolutely agree, being a guy who's fairly new back into collecting cards, even though I'd done that a long time ago. But there's something about the look, feel, texture of the old cards. And what I had done when I first started back into the card hobby, and this was a long time ago, um, well, I guess several years ago now, is I had bought a grading kit. I think it was on Amazon. And that way I could measure and kind of look, what the dimensions of a card were and look it up. And then, of course, as time has gone on, we've seen a lot more of this talk about how to take creases out of cards and things. And I am, for the record, I am not for those things. I have all sorts of issues with it. And I'll get to that a little bit here in a minute. But, I was talking to this guy, and he was talking about he's hoping to learn how to do it really well on fixing these cards up so that he can send them into PSA and hopefully get a higher score than what he would have gotten otherwise. And when John Mangini, this was maybe a few months ago or last year, was bringing to light some of this as well. He had actually posted a link, I believe, in one of his episodes of a card video on how people are doing that. And this wasn't John trying to say that was okay or whatever. It was just talking about it. And so I watched that video, and I watched a really good video by Greg Morris Cards, which sell quite a large amount of cards on eBay and probably other platforms as well. And I will include that video because I thought it was quite interesting. But all of the reasons I'm talking about this is, and I'm trying to process it in my head, but I wonder if it would be possible to detect it. And the Greg Morris Cards folks say they can, or at least they have a pretty good idea. But I'm wondering if I could detect it easily with a human eye or not, or maybe you need some special instruments. And I like to do a lot of card experiments. I really hate to get an old card and do something like that to it, even though I guess bleaching it in sunlight isn't any different. Um, but but yeah, if it's something, I wonder if I should see if I can detect it. Some of my concern is, if you're buying these cards and you don't know it, really is kind of like you're being defrauded. One of the websites I saw, they were dabbing it a little bit, I think, with something moist. And I think that would affect the ink, and I think it would also degrade the cardboard faster. They talked about pressing it and then putting in a humidifier and stuff. But I think that actually might have a negative effect on the cardboard. So if you are buying these and um, trying to get more money, you actually could be giving somebody a worse product. While it might look better initially, it could actually cause the card to degrade faster. So yeah, I guess I'm just trying to process it in my head. Not a big fan of it. I would like to figure out how easy it would be to spot these, which also may need to change my own buying habits. But yeah, I'm kind of curious for anybody who watches if you watch this and have you bought a card that has been manipulated, and were you able to tell, or did you not find out till later? Were you able to do a reflection test to see how that worked, or what? Anyway, so I'll close with that. Um, but I always told you guys I would show a card. So something really neat that was information to me, and the card business was this is from Clean Cheap Shots Cards. And on my last video he said that he had learned something interesting, and that he had learned from, let me see if I get the name of this right here, that um, Ernie Lombardi went to the same high school as Frank Robinson, Vada Pinson, Kurt Flood, Bill Russell, and it was McClymont High School in Oakland, California, or maybe what is now Oakland, California. Um, it could have been outside of the city limits a long time ago. So that got me thinking. I love the old cards. 1959 is one of my favorite top sets for whatever reason, and it also happens to be a card that I have of Vada Pinson from that time. I believe this is his rookie card, and so I thought I would show it to everyone. I love, I really do. I love this set. Um, it is just absolutely beautiful in my mind. Uh, this one is fairly well centered. It's, I'm assuming, never been altered. It's nice and tight in the magnetic case holder, and these back of these cards are just gorgeous as well. So, thought I would share that really quick and talk to you a little bit about those card manipulation things that are going on, and yeah, try to figure out how do I make sure I'm not getting cheated out of when I buy a card. I do buy a lot of cards raw because my tight budget can afford tight cards over a lot of the scored cards. I do like those, but those scored cards, that plastic doesn't actually protect your card, and so if you do use a scorecard and you display it, make sure you have a magnetic case holder over those. In my personal opinion, I think it's Sports Card Dad has a discount code. If you ever watch him, you can get a discount code on uh, case holders for those scored cards. I have not tested them out yet, but we'll someday soon. So that's my Vada Pinson card. Hope everyone's doing well. Hope everybody's having a good week. Hey, tomorrow's hump day, so that's a good sign. We'll see you guys.